Hey folks, I'm Chris and I'm your Commander Mechanic, here with another tune-up. But before we get started, I wanted to remind you that if you want to pick up any of the cards that we talk about in today's episode, check out our affiliates. Our Canadian affiliate, Hairy Tarantula, where you can use the promo code CMDR Space Mechanic at checkout, or our TCG Player affiliate link. Both are in the description below. Let's check out what's in the workshop today. Viewer Morpho writes, I've been trying to work on a semi-budget Syr Faren deck, and I don't know how to further enhance it. I feel like the low end of the curve is really lacking. Am I running too many basics? Please avoid Infect as my playgroup hates it. I'd love to see your spin on this deck. Thanks for submitting your list, Morpho. First of all, you can never run too many basics. Now, let's talk Syr Faren. Here's a commander you don't see often. In fact, EDH Rec shows only 64 Syr Faren decks registered. That's the, let me check, 754th most played commander in the game. Or least played in this instance. A sleeper hit for sure. Syr Faren is a tiny green uncommon legendary that cares about their own power. In fact, when Syr Faren attacks, it pumps another creature equal to Syr Faren's power, similar to a budget version of Xenagos, God of Revels. No haste and has to attack, but still wants big power boosts. Our commander comes down fast, so we have the potential to get really aggressive with it. Let's use that to our advantage. Your existing list is part Voltron, part aggro, which is fantastic. We really want equipment that efficiently boosts Syr Faren's power, so we can double up on those benefits. Plus, if Syr Faren gets removed, those equipment can serve our attackers really efficiently. Blackblade Reforged, Ring of Colonia, and Loxodon Warhammer are amazing, especially the equipment that gives trample. That's what we're going to want to focus on. If we don't have trample, we're going to end up getting chump blocked all day long. Green's evasion is, more often than not, trample. You have some amazing auras in here too, like Rancor, Blanchwood Armor, and Bear Umbra. While auras aren't the best card type, in this case, they're effective and efficient ways to pump Syr Faren, especially on a budget. Creatures that pump all other creatures are perfect too. Your inclusions of Cultivator of Blades, God Eternal Ronus, and Thunderfoot Baloth are fantastic. I would not change them. You have some good card draw and spells in the deck as well. Everything is leaning towards a Power Matters themes, and that is amazing. Greater Good, Momentous Fall, and Rishkar's Expertise are all must-haves when we're looking at a theme like this. Great job for ensuring your staples are included. With that being said, there are some weak spots in the list. First, our ramp is less than ideal. When we have a 2-mana commander, we don't really want our ramp to occupy our next turns. We want to get other threats on the board fast to start dealing damage. Cultivate and Nissa's Pilgrimage, along with Explosive Vegetation, are all in the wrong spots in the curve. We should be looking at our ramp in relation to our commander instead. Your curve looks a little high. Not bad for a stompy deck, but when your commander costs 2, you want threats to be a little lower to the ground. Terastodon is fine, but 8 mana is hefty. You're an aggro deck that's attacking rather than ramping. Let's make sure we have lower costed efficient beaters. Also, I mentioned there's a distinct lack of trample granting abilities in the deck. Apart from Aggressive Mammoth and Roughshod Mentor, there's nothing that gives everything trample. We'll take a look at how we can grant trample, or better, in our replacements. Lastly, I would love to try and find a way to fit a non-combat win con somehow. Yes, we want to be beating in with stompy creatures, but maybe let's try to find a non-infect way to make sure that if we're stopped by a Propaganda, Ghostly Prison, or Ensnaring Bridge, we can still push through for victory. So with all of that in mind, let's take a look at how we're going to tune this up. Ideally, our ramp would be at 1 mana. Llanowar Elves, Elvish Mystic, and Finhorn Elves. This way, not only can we skip right to Threat City, but we can pump these dorks up later in the game when we need extra attacking bodies. Let's maybe shift some of our threats to more efficient, smaller bodies, and work to make everything we play, small or large, threatening. Charging Badger, Ornithopter, or Gingerbrute can all be amazing threats when pumped up by the effects in this deck. More effects that give everything trample are necessary. Otherwise, the smallest tokens are going to be able to stop our aggression dead in its tracks. Brawn, Primal Rage, and Nylea, God of the Hunt, are great ways that we can exploit Syr Faren's pump ability. But the best option for granting evasion is going to be Bellowing Tangleworm. This creature gives us Intimidate rather than Trample, a rarity in green. That means our creatures can only be blocked by green or artifact creatures, perfect for smashing through a stalled board. Now lastly, I want to add in some better removal options. We're going to have big, bulky creatures, so fight effects are going to be amazing ways to exploit that. Ulvenwald Tracker, Ancient Animus, and Titanic Brawl all read Destroy Target Creature, thanks to our big, beefy boys on the board. In some instances, it lets us clear a path for our commander to safely attack without the risk of being blocked. Every time we lose our commander, we're pushed further and further behind the aggro game. For upgrades, there are a few go-tos that I'd recommend that are a little pricier. The first are more pump everything effects. This is where we want to look at Craterhoof Behemoth and Pathbreaker Ibex. These both take our small army and turn them into big threats, as both give the whole squad trample on top of the power boost. That means these two give us 2 desirable effects on one body, ideal for our build. I'd also recommend Mox Amber. Because we have a 2 casting cost commander that will probably always come down on turn 2, this is the best mana rock we can hope for. Better than any Signet and most ramp spells. Lastly, because we're mono green, I want to recommend Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. At a minimum, our commander adds 2 pips to the devotion count, which is significant. This can very quickly be making us enough mana to ramp several turns all on its own. Definitely a priority pickup. So let's take a look at the list. We brought the curve down an entire mana point. Now we're a little over 3, which is a good spot. We want a higher end of the curve to be where it is, in utility like card draw, as opposed to threats. We're working to build our own threat here, after all. And we've done that by including some small creatures in the list that naturally have some kind of evasion. This way, we can benefit from Syr Faren's ability when we get it online. A Birds of Paradise becomes a massive flying threat when we start running efficiently. As you asked, we avoided Infect and worked on the curve, all while keeping the budget the exact same. Hopefully you'll find this build is effective, efficient, and aggressive. Exactly the way we want it. Be sure to let us know in the comments how you've changed your deck, Morpho. And thanks everyone else for letting us know how you would continue to build this deck in the comments below. Until next time, folks, good luck and have fun. Once again, I wanted to thank all of our patrons for helping to support the channel. We could not do this without you. A special shout out goes to our Lodestone Golems, Ben Frayne, Sterling Lankford, Will Briggs, Ben Davis, David Nary, and Corey Whitaker. And to our Metalwork Colossi, Austin Charlotte, Charles Olson, Matthew Chandler, Ben Shackelford, Pulsating Kiwi, and Jim. Thank you, everyone. Again, we couldn't do this without you.